All right, what's going on, y'all? My name is Zahir Torre. I'm here with another episode of the Mageuzi Podcast. I'm kicking it with my host right here, Anthony McPhail, coming out of Shreveport, Louisiana. And today we're gonna touch on a bunch of topics. But real quick, I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of updates on the Mageuzi philosophy. Of course, this is a book that's touching on self transformation and historical consciousness. And so a lot of what this podcast is focusing on is us as a people, our culture, and understanding who we are, and in an attempt to transform our consciousness and move towards a more cultural aligned direction. So I got somebody who is a well-known historian, a well-known, I want to say intellectual. I don't know if you'll like that title though, elder, revolutionary of the movement. So you can go ahead and introduce yourself, returning guest, and you know, tell us what you want to talk about today.
Yeah, man. Peace, everybody, man. And my name's Anthony McPhail, man. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana, and I'm not an intellectual, bro. I'm just, I'm just a Pan African, a black nationalist, Pan Africanist garbage.
That's right. That's right. You don't hear that too much nowadays. Like a
Yeah,
Pan African Black nationalist Garveyite. You might hear a
yeah,
little bit the socialist in there, but you don't hear too
yeah,
much of the Black nationalist. Somebody that really comes out and says that. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's what it is with
What?
me, man. I believe in the teachings of Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I don't really get off into like an ideology. I mean, whatever helps black people, African people globally get free is what I'm for.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Sometimes we get too caught up in those titles, man. But that's
Yeah.
something
Uh,
I do think is important. Because I've studied a lot of Black nationalism, Pan Africanism, and that's something for
yeah.
me that was important because that's we can get so caught up in all this other mess when we get too many different ideas. It takes us off course. That's why I like to at least
Exactly.
identify kind of nationalist line, African
Exactly.
and nationalist. So that way it's like, well, let's keep ourselves on track on where we need to
Yeah.
go.
Exactly. I agree
Yeah.
100%, brother.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
with that being said, I kind of want to start off with keeping ourselves on track, man. You came to me, you had an idea about some of these artists you've been hearing on the radio. Tell us about some of these artists and what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. I want to say this first because some people will say, well, that when you picking on the female artist, or you picking on the new artist, you know. But I'm not doing it because I go hard on the brothers as hard as I do the female MC. And I've been doing this for a long time, man. I mean, going back to the days of NWA. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, because this music industry has had a devastating effect on the minds of our young people, man.
Right.
I mean, when you look at it, I mean, because our young people are so gullible these days. I mean, I don't want to gullible might not be the right word, but what I'm saying, we so susceptible to bad influences. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Peer pressure. My homeboy is doing it, my homegirl's doing it. I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That kind of thing. Yeah. And
And
so
then,
that's why I go hard on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Because I know for me too, man. That like those influences I seen. Like there's a huge difference to the post hip hop world when it comes to like Black culture and Black youth. There's a huge difference. Like I remember even like I think it's like 10, 12, 15 years ago now almost. Like I remember Sa Neto, he was doing his debates online, and he was making a big deal about kind of having this hip hop infusion with consciousness in the clothing. And I remember, doing more research and going back, and I remember when there was a clash sometimes between like conscious community or like African center people saying, is this music even helpful to us, you know, but we've seen how it's even transformed from that to just how much of an impact it has on even how we think about ourselves, you know, having that message through people like X Clan and Public Enemy, all the stuff we talked about last time. But you know, you can't see our people now and without some kind of influence from hip hop and popular culture in general, you know. Yeah.
And I wanted a thing that I wanted, something that I wanted to point out in today's hip hop and rap music. You know, I don't even know I don't even know how to call it anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but it's just when I see the condition of black people today, black people, African people in America today, and with all of the things that we up against, to hear brothers and sisters rapping about popping pills, doing Molly. You know what I'm saying? And anybody engaging in all of the negative activities that we hear in the music today, I'm just like, you know, man, this. I mean, just I don't know what to say about it, man. I mean, you almost want to get to the point of like, is it a higher hand, a hidden hand, putting all this garbage out? You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking about the young sister, Young Miami. You know, think about this, brother. Who would make a song encouraging sisters to go boosting in stores, going in stores, stealing clothes? You know what I'm saying? Who would make a song encouraging brothers to be scammers? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what kind of message is that? You know, I mean, it's to a point of time where once in the past you had some artists who had some responsibility in the words that they put out there. You know what I'm saying? But now it's just like I don't give a damn. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Right.
You know, I mean, you had sisters with the image of black women today. You know, and black women historically in this country. You know what I'm saying? How they been depicted? By the white power struggle, by white society. We have sisters like a beautiful sister like a Megan Thee Stallion. You know, or like other of these sisters in the rap game right now. Like representing that very stereotype. You know what I'm saying? No, that's been out there for years about the over sexualized image of black women. You know,
Right.
and that's one thing when you talk about a grown woman, but what about the young girls? You know what I'm saying?
You know, one thing. One thing I wanted to bring up with that was so I think about it personally because I remember going through different phases where it was like, this is our cultural expression, right? So this is the way we talk to our people, and this is like we're just showing you how it really is out there in the community, right? And this is a form of black music. So why would we hate on other black artists? Like why would we do that? You know, why? You know, if we're talking about robbing and killing and all of this other stuff, you know, isn't that a representation of the conditions? You know, but first, before I go on with that, what would you say about that?
Okay, now I wouldn't say that that's a representation of okay, I tell you what, when I hear that coming from X Clan, when I hear that coming from Chuck D, you know what I'm saying? When I hear that coming from a Common, you know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah. But when I hear that coming from 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying? Or when I hear that coming from a gangster rapper, you know, what I look at, that's a glorification of that food.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get rich or die trying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How is that okay? These are conditions of what is our society. No, that's telling you to go out and take people's shit. You know what I'm saying? That's telling you to sell drugs for your people. You know what I'm saying? That's telling you to pimp women. All of this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's like an artist taking advantage of a situation.
Yeah. It's a hustle, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's a hustle. a hustler.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, like I said, it's a difference between if I hear you telling me that, or I hear some Blueface telling me that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
That's one of the things, because one of the things it was hard for me to do was it was hard for me to say, when do we go from that to how do we take accountability of our own culture? When do we say this is ours and no one else can attack it? Okay, so we got our defenses against maybe outsiders, but when are we ever able to say we don't like this, or we have to say why are we promoting this from ourselves? And I think part of that comes from, like, this is why I'm so big on culture and Afrocentrism and African centeredness, because I think part of that is missing, right? Part of us is like, a self-agency to say this is the principles that we come from, because I think there's some division here, like you talking about Young Miami and you're like, why would you say that? But then it's like, in one sense, I want to defend all of that stuff against, like, maybe like a white person or a person outside of our culture, but then I'm like, damn, should we have a problem with that? Should we promote all of this just because, or should we be critical?
Okay, the one thing I want to say is right here. We touched on this last time we had a conversation. We said, number one, this is not black culture. This is not our culture. Hip hop is not our culture. This is not our culture. Definitely this form of hip hop is not our culture. And another thing is, we don't control this. You know what I'm saying? We don't control the record labels. No, we don't control the industry that plays our music. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. This is basically some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody else's image of black culture. I relate it to, like, for example, how a 19th century European man depicted an African, as some backward naked savage running through the jungle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I depicted. I mean, that's the way I look at it. And this is the way they see us now. Okay, this is our version of what black culture is, and having no idea what real black culture is. I mean, that the culture of the street, that this kind of this urban thing, is black culture. This is not our culture. This is entertainment, terrible entertainment. Terrible entertainment. I just want to listen at this 1 minute before you move forward. It's this song by this cat. I think they from out of your hometown now. Maybe from Atlanta. I think the brother Quavo.
Quavo. Okay.
They had this song "Take Me Through There." Now it's a female artist, the female lead on the song. It's the part of the song. I don't know the whole song, but I know it's the part where she's saying she don't know what she talk about a girl. Saying she say she don't know what she doing. The bitch just giving it out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That part where she don't know what she doing. The bitch just giving it out. Okay, just think of that, man. Let that resonate in your mind for a minute.
Yeah, I hear you.
She don't know what she's doing. The bitch just giving it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, back to that whole image of the young black woman who's just out here twerking and out here just, she just gangster with it. She just gutter with it. You know what I'm saying? With no self-respect no respect for herself. I mean, I'm like, I know it sounds a certain way when a man talks about it, but I want to see more women talk, and I do see most sisters talking about it now.
Yeah.
I mean, about this image. Because see, what they did now was taking, the image that the sisters like Lil Kim and Foxy Brown and those sisters back in the 90s started of the so-called the bad bitch. And now, brother, you know what? Women all day you see on social media, I'm a bad bitch. Everybody want to be a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why don't you want to be a powerful woman instead of a bad bitch? Go ahead.
Yeah, because I feel like we can't really sit here. If me and you, people like us, right? You know, they like to call us all kind of names, right? I say African Center, they want to say Hotep, but what does this really mean? We study politics, we study things, we know propaganda, so we know when we see images, it has effects. We know that everybody doesn't just look at a TV or just look at the images on YouTube and all this other stuff and just walks away unchecked, untapped, right? We know social media is such a powerful tool. We know that there's cases right now that they're proving that social media has negatively affected like young children, right? So if we know all of this, they know this. They get money off suing people because social media is really affecting people's mental health. So can we really sit back and say that um, and what one of the essence of propaganda is repetition. So if we hear all of these artists that are on the that's I keep saying television because but it's on YouTube, social media, whatever. You know, if we keep hearing the same message over and over, you know, we can't sit here and dismiss it to act like, oh, well, it's just entertainment. It may just be entertainment, but it also has an influential factor to it, right? You know what I mean? And I think that that's something that I am not seeing enough of us kind of check in there. You know what I mean? Like, it's because when it comes to the entertainment realm, it's like it's easy to dismiss it as pure entertainment, but you'll see an influence on an individual, right? You'll see an influence on the girl that you say, especially with hip hop, because I've always agreed. Scarface had said this is a way of communication with our people, right? You know, let me say this too. I remember when 50 came out. I may have said this last time, but when he came out, you know, he was rocking these big white tees with a bulletproof vest, and then everybody in my neighborhood started rocking white tees with like bulletproof vests. You know, and they, you know, and then all of a sudden, if somebody was from New York, they were from Southside, Jamaica, Queens, right? And so, like, I'm saying all this because I didn't really think about the effects on the women because I just seen it with the men. So when we're talking about these images and we're seeing a repeated pattern for some of these artists who are the top artists, you're now making me think about how that affects girls too, like young girls, young ladies. Mm-hmm.
And a thing, okay, and to continue on this point. Okay, the video that I was talking about from Quavo and these other female rappers, I can't think of a name. If you watch the video, I watched the video several times because I was showing it to somebody. And now, while the young lady was rapping about she don't know what she's doing, and you know, she just giving it out. If you watch the video, you got little girls standing all around in the park working.
Right.
Little girls. Hey, I'm talking about preteen.
Yeah.
Preteen.
Yeah.
Preteen. I'm talking about 10 and little girls.
So right,
you know
there,
what I'm saying?
Right there, I want to bring this up because you just said how they're talking about giving it out, but then you turn around and you want to be like sex trafficking, which is a huge problem here in Atlanta. But that's like a confusing message. That's a confusing message. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's 100%. I mean, right now there are so many missing young black girls and women and girls in this country today, man, and a whole lot of out of that Atlanta area, and out of the that East Coast area, like in the DMV area, places like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it on social media all the time. All of these missing young girls, man. A lot of them are victims of this sex trafficking thing, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, it probably other things too, but there's a lot of. I mean, it's just the whole, you know, the promotion of the so-called, and forgive me for the word, but of the whole culture and stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, and that's not a word that I created. That's a word that they have out there. You know what I'm saying? They just had this little show that they had on social on maybe it's on Netflix. It was on one of those channels called Whole Phase.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Whole Phase. Yeah. I mean, we're at a point now where you hearing these females making it like it's empowering to call yourself a bitch and a hoe. Man, that's not empowering nowhere. That's not empowering anywhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got nieces and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, when you love your people, you love your family. You know, you love your black people. You love your sisters, man. You know, this is something that we can't just let this slide. You know what I'm saying? We can't just let this slide right here. You know what I'm saying? Because we at a war, man, and we got all kind of things that we fighting up against. You know what I'm saying? It's up
Yeah.
against us as black people, as African people, not only here but around the world, man. In the Congo right now, you know what I'm saying? In parts of the African continent, I'm gonna show you. This is where I'm branching it out at. Liberia, Sierra Leone, in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
Congo now. You had a whole culture of these young men, a lot of them with some of the influence from rap video, music videos and stuff, running around during those civil wars, you know what I'm saying? Running around raping young women. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like it was on a biblical scale. You know what I'm saying? Sierra Leone, Liberia, where you can hear about the rape crisis. In the Congo, you hear about the rape crisis. You know what I'm saying? In the eastern part of during the Rwandan Civil War, you would hear about this kind of stuff. And this whole culture of these young men, this hypersexuality type of thing, with the young brother over there. You
Yeah.
know, it's just like the African, like they were African versions of Tupac.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Running around
Yeah.
with they AK-47s and just terrorizing the communities and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's the connection that I'm trying to make with it. You know what I'm saying? Because right now today, you go to Ghana, you go to I think in Nigeria, they have drill music. Drill music. I've seen the videos, brother. Drill music. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Chief Keef is a hero. You know what I'm saying? Where is Chief Keef a hero anywhere?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
him, but I mean the other drill artists and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Man, this is disgusting, man. I mean, and I could speak we could speak on. We know about. I'm saying I could speak on it. Zahir, for the reason because I used to live that same kind of lifestyle, not to that extreme over there, but I was running around toting guns, and hypersexual, and acting like a damn fool, a knucklehead, back in the '90s and stuff. I was, and the music influenced me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna blame it all. I mean, you have to take personal responsibility too for your actions, but it played a big part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I went through that kind of
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
With
And
that
that's
whole mentality, how the music hype you up and get you to another zone. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of what I wanted to touch on was how do we. I mean, because usually when I hear these kind of discussions about like trying to, you talked about the rape crisis in Sierra Leone. One of the first things I usually hear is a denial that these things happen. You know what I mean? Like, oh, if it's not a denial, it's just sort of like, well, what are the greater forces at play here? And they might want to say like colonialism. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, but I think I think there has to be an avenue for us to say, well, wait a minute, what what are these negative elements that we need to stomp out of our own culture? You know what I'm saying? Because everything is just not going to be like 100% pure. We got to be able to say this is the standard that we set for ourselves, and this is the standard we're trying to get rid of. Garvey. I always think about Garvey where he said, "Not all of us are going to make it back." Right? We got to find a way to be able to critique people, to critique elements of our culture that we think are dangerous, right? And I think that this is one of the things. I'm glad that you brought that up, man, because when all of those people, when they promote any kind of that hypersexuality amongst the culture, you know what I mean? It only becomes a problem when the Diddy or the R. Kellys come out. You know what I'm saying? But these are what I want to say, like effects, right? Like these happens after years of culmination of these things, and then they're so far removed from us locally on the ground, and they become symbolic towards like trying to stand towards a justice. But what are these elements of our culture that I think that are promoting this that we can sit here and say, well, wait a minute, let's nip this in the bud.
Okay. What you just said, what it reminds me of is
Yeah.
what Dr. Bobby E. Wright said back in the 1980s. He said, we the only group of people, black people, African people in this country. We the only group of people who can't check our own people, about their behavior. We the only group of people. You know what I'm saying? Look here.
Real quick, because I was thinking about Kevin Hart. I was thinking about Kevin Hart and that he let the white man tell that joke on stage. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, it's just a roast. Why are y'all tripping about it? But I'm like, I don't think he could have went up there with a Jewish person and he could have made a joke about the Holocaust or something or anybody else. But it's like we lack this power to be able to check each other at times. You know what I mean? I always think about that old, like the drop squad or whatever. Like we miss that element of being able to check it and say, well, wait, whoa, you can't just do that. You know what I mean? Just because you making this money and these white folks are giving you this money, that don't mean nothing. You still have a responsibility to us.
See, that's the problem. They promote, they promote. You had the powers that be that promote this kind of behavior among our people and make it profitable. Hey, look, if you go and do this here, you can get paid, man. You can make a living off of this. You'll make good money off of this here. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody in a community where jobs are hard to find. You know what I'm saying? Well, unemployment is high. Well, opportunity. Okay, you have people. Hey, man, I'm gonna get rich or die trying. I'm gonna go and get mine. You know what I'm saying? And if you trying to step in the way, it's gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, you ain't gonna see that in the Jewish community. You're not gonna see that in the Korean community, in the Chinese community. You know what I'm saying? In these communities, Italian and you ain't gonna see it among these people. You know what I'm saying? When they see somebody out there doing that foolishness, hey, somebody gonna check them about that. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna check our people about that. You know what I'm saying? About all this ignorance and foolishness. You know what I'm saying? And we just let it slide. You know what I'm saying? And we have a responsibility for that, man. As African people, as black people, as black men and black men and women, we have a responsibility for our children's behavior.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I always go back to the culture part. Like, we looking at this as a culture, but it's not our culture, man. We don't even teach half of us. We don't even know what our culture. You know what I'm saying? And we think this is culture. No, it's not here. When is culture begin? When was culture walking around with your damn pants hanging off your head? When was culture every time anything happens, some sisters break out twerking? You know what I'm saying? When was culture sisters running around, I'll cut a bitch? You know what I'm saying? When was culture, nigga turn around, I'll kill you, nigga. Because you looked at me too goddamn long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, when was that culture, man?
Thing came from, because I don't remember, like, if you look at some old graduation photos, you don't see it, I don't think, in the 80s or the 90s, right? Like, I feel like it's a recent phenomenon, but I'm not sure.
Being
graduations and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like me being from I be saying it sometimes. I say, well, they graduated, give it to them. But I'm just saying, like, hey man, like I'm saying, I'm from Louisiana, and like, especially like down south in New Orleans, they always had the bounce culture, the bounce music and stuff. And you know what I'm saying? And like sisters bouncing and doing it. I mean, it is a part of black culture if you go back to it. If you can go back to Africa, I mean, in our dances. But dances is when you. I mean, it's a time and a place thing. Hey, we ain't somebody just break. We in public just. Oh, let me start twerking. You know what I'm saying? On any damn thing. They can see if we at a party. You some stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about just. You see, remember the video where the sister was in this black brother had a restaurant where the sister was in the restaurant twerking all over the place, and he was saying, "I run a place of business, y'all. Y'all please don't do that." You know what I'm saying? About 9, 10 sisters in the building just twerking all over the place. And don't get me wrong, I'm not. I know I keep saying that. I keep saying that. About that part. And I promise to God, man, I'm not. It's not anything against our sisters, man. I just want us to do better. Cause see, I could go way hard on these niggas.
Yeah.
But I don't want us to get kicked off the amp. with some of the stuff I'm gonna say about them. You know what I'm saying? I get kicked off the air.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
It's a balance, being able to critique both, man, because we're not separate, right? That's one of the things, I seen with. I don't want to blanket this charge against like feminism or anything, but what I am trying to say is that I've seen different ideologies when they like, I would say like intersectionality. I think it means well when it says we're oppressed in one sense because you're a woman, man, but this is why I like culture, because what about us? But what is our priority? Is our priority to hyper analyze the individual ways that we're oppressed? Or are we unified and moving towards this direction? So I think, if we come from in a place of balance, we critique the men, we critique the women, but we come out of a place of unity and love. I think that's what makes the difference.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm like, well, when I get to critiquing brothers and like I say, and I will always throw myself because I was one of those knuckleheads growing up.
Right.
I was one of them, and I'm saying, and I'm extremely hard on. I mean, you can't see what I do in the community right there. What I do when I talk to young brothers. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying some of the things that I get on some of these knuckleheads about. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, I go way harder, man. I go way harder on them because we do some pretty. I'm really disappointed with us as black men, man. Us as the black men who fail to teach the young brothers and the behavior of young brothers, man. Because we in one of the worst states. The worst states of being that we'd have been in for a long time. I remember this song was I believe the children of the future. If our young men are our future now, we're in a hell of a lot of trouble. We're in a hell of a lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying? In a hell of a lot of trouble, brother. With the state of the young black men today, man, because they basically they're useless. They're useless. They're useless, man. In the state that they're in right now. When you won't fight against the power struggle, against the power struggle that oppress your people, but you will kill your brother. You know what I'm saying? You will kill your brother. You will kill another man that look like you. And over dumbass shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And call yourself a real nigga. You're a real nigga because you went and killed some brothers. You know what I'm saying? Or you killed some more black people. You know what I'm saying? And then when other people press your neighborhood, or press your community, going around killing our young teenage boys, our young men, our young women, running them out of stove, running behind them out of stove, shooting them in the back and everything, and you don't hear a damn thing from none of these fools, man. You know what I'm saying? Where the gangsters at? Where the real niggas at with the guns? You know what I'm saying? Who's so gangster, you'll come to my neighborhood, 2 or 3 of y'all. It don't matter if it's 300 of us over here waiting on you, but you'll come over there and to shoot up the neighborhood. If you die a soldier. But you can't die no motherfucking soldier with George Zimmerman or this Richard Child or any of these crackers, these honkies kill our young men. Where you at now? You know what I'm saying? Where's the gang organization to go and burn down and do whatever to the people, to those people from those other communities that do shit to our people? Where you at? You know what I'm saying? Where you at now? Yeah. Why is these murderers of our people walking around free, saying whatever they want to say? You know what I'm saying? Living like they want to live. Where you at? But if I lay here on this video right here, if I say something about you, you might threaten me to come to street boy to kill me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna do nothing to them. You know what I'm saying?
No jumper.
Yeah. So that's why I say right now, they should be happy that I was talking about what the sisters do, because if I get on their ass, it's gonna be bad. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say I was watching a video, man, from No Jumper, man, and this one dude, he's an LA gang member, and he was just like, I bang on everything black. It don't matter. It's black. I don't bang on nobody else. No Asians, no Mexicans. It's all black, And Adam 22, the white man, is like, I appreciate that,
Yeah. And that's just the most coward. It's the most cowardice thing that I ever heard of, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I actually heard someone say, well, yeah, we don't go past this street right here. Because up there, that's what white folks and other people, and you do something up there, man, you might get increased time. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, you saying that a Negro's life ain't worth nothing. You know what I'm saying? If I go over there, I might get thrown away. But over here, I might not even get caught for killing this Negro.
I mean, you look at that Carmelo Anthony case, and he get 35 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and that makes me think. To me, the whole case was just like, oh, did this Negro just kill one of ours, right? And so they retaliated through the legal system.
That's what it is. That's what it was.
Yeah, and I can see how in our in black communities, like what you're saying, it's like they know that they probably can get away with killing black men without any impunity from the state. You know what I mean?
Zahir said the right way, not the legal system, their legal system.
Their legal system.
Their legal system. Their legal system. And I mean, we talk about a criminal justice system. No, it's a criminal justice system. Like Dr. Carter used to say. I mean, you remember this whole enterprise that you call the United States of America, this is a criminal enterprise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, look, this is what I'm saying when it comes to this about black people standing their ground, being to defend themselves, because you've been hearing a lot of that. Black people came to defend. Hey, you ain't bound by any law that this country ever wrote. You're not, because this country was made is a criminal activity. This was a crime scene. You living in America is a crime scene. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is a crime scene. This was some honkies came from somewhere else, come over here, stole these people's land, genocided them, and parlayed it into an empire for themselves. That was illegal. What they did is what you call today a war crime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a war crime. When Saddam took over Kuwait, the same thing that they did in America, what they did, organize the nations of the world to go fight against it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Black people, you're not bound by any law by this criminal state. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm gonna defend my life. I'm gonna defend my life and my family and my people anytime, regardless. Hey, they gonna get you one way or the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gonna get you one way or the other. Either you can let them kill you, you know what I'm saying, you can go on and do what you got to do, and then you gonna get locked up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So what the problem is? What? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, look at black people. We have our own stand your ground, man. Defend yourself. I wouldn't give a damn about none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, we kind of got off topic on that.
Though, because
we got off topic on that. Yeah.
I want to bring
it. Go ahead, man.
We talk about, man, and I do think it's important for us to address that issue. Like what we were talking about with the girls, man, and what's going on with the industry, because sometimes I get people online. There's a big gender war. You know what I mean? And it's like black men say something, black women is this big war. But I do think we have to find a healthy way to say, no, younger.
No, I'm saying it's not a gender war. It's not a gender war between us. No, it's a gender war that they created.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, artificial. Yeah.
That the white power struggle created this. The white folks created this. You know what I'm saying? Right. They created this. We didn't create this. Right. We didn't create this. And it's really it's an online thing, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, because I see people online, man. Sometimes when they like really make it their platform to like address black women, for example, and I think that kind of stuff, it makes it hard for us to make these type of critiques we're trying to make, right? Because then it turns into a back and forth, like, well, if the women are doing this, it's because the men are doing that or whatever. But we're trying to pinpoint from an African-centered perspective ways to transform our community for the better, right? And again, I think we have to figure out a way to say, well, this is just an element that women are responsible for. I think about like African cultural ways. I think about, like you may have a sisterhood and a brotherhood, and like sometimes this is what, like I want to say, I hate to use the word, but like standards that the women like to put out there, like, because we know what behaviors can be detrimental or they could be helpful to our communities, right? So number one, we know communities are important to us, and we know coming
Yeah.
together on the base of that is important. We know that's African center. We talk about our collectives, our communities. If we don't have communities, then we cultivate them, right? So if we know what behaviors are better for that and what behaviors are worse for that, and I think that's
Yeah.
one of the things we begin to look at, when we start addressing any of these issues. What was some of the other topics you wanted to hit on?
South Africa. You remember this weekend they were having South Africa was playing Mexico.
Oh, okay.
South Africa playing Mexico, in the FIFA tournament, the World Cup tournament. And with all of the things that's happening in South Africa now with what a new term they call it, Afrophobia, with black South Africans, kicking out Nigerians and Zambians and Zimbabweans and other what they call foreign black foreigners, African foreigners from other countries, and with the whole pushback, that the continent, African people globally have been, pushing back on what's been happening in South Africa. Well, this weekend at the before the game, between South Africa and Mexico, they say so many Africans were saying that they were rooting for Mexico. That they were rooting for Mexico.
Oh,
yeah, so many against South Africa. And look here, and players, this brother, this Williams got brother on the South African team, he was talking about it on social media and how he was so hurt about that Africans are rooting against an African nation. You know what I'm saying? An African soccer team and going for Mexico. You know what I'm saying? But it also could have found that he also had said some xenophobic stuff about Africans from neighboring countries. Here's there's something about these foreigners or whatever coming in our country. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big thing, and it was on our prompt, one of our prompts on our show Saturday night on Shoot the Breeze. Did Africans sell out? It's about cheering for Mexico instead of South Africa. Yeah, and what was your me personally? I say my position was I'm not cheering against an African nation. I'm going for South Africa. I know how to separate the soccer team, the South African soccer team as an African soccer team from the politics that's going on over there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not cheering for Mexico because Mexico, go ahead. What do you think about it?
Well, man, that's an interesting question because I was thinking about I understand the point, right? Where it's y'all are right now being so egregious to what we call African. Let us go ahead and root for these Mexicans. Because it's that's how much you have. We're trying to show you how much of an embarrassment you're being right now. We're trying to communicate to you that we really just ain't rocking with y'all right now. On the flip side, it's us with our codes, we race first. So it's almost sort of like, your family member is doing bad, but that's still your family member, So you always want to defend your family, So I get both sides. I definitely understand why they were booing them. But sometimes when you what's hard about that is why your family member messing up, them Mexicans probably gonna say something racist to him too. You know what I mean? Yep. And I don't be on the side of somebody that's that's gonna join it. Because I think I saw something. What's his name that's going around doing the streams? I forget his name right now, but they were calling him
I Show Speed. I Show Speed.
I Show Speed. That's right. And there was a place where they were all calling him a monkey. And I forget what place it was, but I just imagine.
Morocco.
If even if he was from South Africa and he was playing against these people and they're all calling them a monkey, I wouldn't want to side with them. And we just got to figure out. But I can't say that I'm mad at them for booing them because they're trying to show y'all messing up either. So
okay, yeah. 50-50. Yeah. Hey, check it out, Zahir. Okay, I agree with you 100%. When on the podcast, that was my position. I said we all understand the sentiment behind that. I mean,
Yeah.
y'all actually have killed some brothers and sisters over there from different African countries. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going behind these colonial borders that the Europeans set up. You know, I mean, and I'm saying, why you don't have the smoke for the Boers who run your country, for the Boers who
I mean,
control the natural resource, the mineral. You know what I'm saying?
because they were people were saying that it's because of the criminal elements, like, oh, because people from Nigeria are doing bad and they're doing criminal things and they're taking jobs.
Right here.
But I'm like, wait a
Uh
minute, you have grandparents who were in the apartheid struggle. You have grandparents to this day who were great grandparents who've seen the death and destruction that those Boers. They came in there with straight violence. They weren't just criminal
Yeah.
people hanging out in the corner selling drugs. They
Yeah.
took a part of your land and still control your land and resources.
Exactly.
Hey.
Exactly. Zahir, how in the hell you gonna talk about some Nigerian drug dealers and criminal element when you got a criminal that stole your country and still control it?
These people,
And no call them a criminal.
People, white folks go down there when they want to get away. They said, man, we're gonna go to the white supremacist country. We go because they know we got our back. And for people who go away from South Africa, go to see Trump with the whole vice president or whoever the fuck he is running Twitter. Goddamn it, they got this white supremacy. They can see past any kind of description between each other, but we gonna kill each other over this. That tells you who's in charge. That tells you who's in charge. You don't control your resources. So you're fighting over crumbs instead of fighting against the enemy who controls.
And they had the sister
and all that stuff. You got. See, you don't got me started.
Zahir, they had a sister. They had a sister on there begging this Asian businessman in South Africa, a South African businessman, to give jobs to black people, the black men.
Right.
Begging them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, that got to be, look here, Zahir, how in the hell am I gonna beg in my own goddamn country? Hey.
In your land,
And so I'm just saying, man, like, we understand the sentiment of, like, you know, okay, of why other Africans and black people around the world were like, no, this is foul, this is a foul behavior, this the shit that y'all doing, man. You know, because everybody, all of us supported black people in South Africa doing the apartheid thing, man. All of us did.
Yeah.
All of us did. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, you know, at the end of the day, it's just like I was telling my brother, man, the brother who was the host of our show, he's a Kenyan brother. I'm gonna tell him just like I said to you. If me and you out here, we standing face to face, we brothers, and we got a conflict with each other, we might fight all damn day. But when another motherfucker come up and put his head and come to you and step to you, I'm gonna say, man, don't put your hands on my brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you do, I'm gonna knock your brains out. Yeah. So I'm just saying, man, you know. Yeah.
And I think that is important, man, because that's an important principle to have, man, because they like to separate us.
It is one real thing. Hey, one thing, look here. Another cat tried to come at me with some shit like this here. I want to tell you about this real quick. It was funny as hell. Okay, now we was talking about, everybody, a lot of Africans supporting Mexico over South Africa. Okay, well, Brazil and Morocco played too. Okay, so the brother tried to come at me, like, trying to throw some Pan-African thing, a jab at me. He said, well, who you going for Morocco and Brazil? I looked at him, and it's almost like he must have said, you didn't just tell me that with a straight face. I said, I'm going for Brazil.
Well,
I'm going for Brazil as opposed to Morocco. We say, ain't Morocco in Africa? No, Morocco is white Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Morocco is Arab, white, and they hate black people there. That's why I show Speed got called a monkeyhead. You know what I'm saying? They have a word in Morocco that they call all black people there. They call them abid, which means slave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I looked at him with a straight face. I said, yes, I say it again. Yes, I'm going for Brazil. And he said, what about Pan-Africans? I said, Morocco ain't Africa to me.
Right.
Yeah, man. I thought it was kind of funny though.
But that's why it's got to be on code though, because it's like,
you're right.
This is the problem, man, and this is, I hate to. And I ain't trying
You're
to
right
talk
though.
bad about socialist people, right? And this internationalism, intercommunalism, and because I get it, I really do get
Yeah.
the fact that sometimes in a struggle you're gonna need alliances, but it's like you got to be on code because they. This is even on the right and the left. What ends up happening is they want you to turn against your own to support
Yeah.
somebody else's cause for the greater cause.
Yeah.
But they'll turn around and that racial oppression will still affect all of us.
Zahir, Zahir, a brother from the All African People Revolutionary Party said this to me. And I didn't know, I didn't know whether to fall out laughing or what. He was saying, we got to support Palestine. I said, okay, I understand that, brother. You supporting Palestine. That's cool. I said, but I'm not going to support Palestine before I support Congo. He told me, he said, well, right now we got to put it on hold for a minute. We got to, it's this about internationalism. That's what he said. It made me think about when you said internationalism. Hey, well, this is about international solidarity. We got to support Palestine. I said, okay, 40,000, 200,000 Palestinians been killed by the Israelis. 7 to 8 to 9 million Congolese been killed. So you saying I'm gonna value the 40,000 to 200,000 Palestinian lives over the 7 to 9 million Congolese lives? I'm saying that tells me that in your mind, black life don't mean nothing. Or don't mean as much as white life do. And this was a brother from the All African People Revolutionary Party. Told me that we got to go for solidarity with the Palestinians over the 7 to 9 million Congolese people that's dead. I said, brother, y'all need to change the name of your organization.
Y'all need to, I was just thinking that in my head, man. Like y'all are not all African. Yeah, you know. Y'all just everybody's Revolutionary Party at this point, then, you know.
Yeah, just call yourselves the All Lives Matter Revolutionary Party. And mostly white.
Forward ever, backwards never. They backwards today. Man, that's
yeah.
Wow.
Hey, would you say forward never? Hey, you said forward never, backwards ever.
No, but yeah, that's what it is. That's strange though.
Yeah, man.
I think you would put the Congo first, you know.
Yeah.
Sudan.
And then had the nerve to call out Patrice Lumumba's name, but you don't give a damn about Patrice Lumumba's people.
Yeah.
You know, that's a trip when you got we got to rally behind the Palestinians. Hell, it ain't like the genocide in the Congo ain't still going on. It's going on now.
Yeah.
The very fact that I'm holding this cell phone on my hand is a part of it.
Right.
You know, Congolese children in mines and holes in the ground digging out coltan and cobalt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
deep,
yeah, man.
And that's the thing. That's why, like, that staying on code and that's going back to what we first talked about is the race nationalism, man. Like that's why it's like that it has to come first, because there's times where these things like the Palestine question, you know, where it's a topic that's popular and it's a topic that's getting everybody's attention, but it's like, why does it have your attention? What is our priority versus somebody else's priority? Because everybody, you know, people, I shouldn't say everybody goes through their struggles, right? But they do, you know, around the world. Like you said, you got Congo, we got the Sudan, and you got Palestine. Everybody's got something going on. You know, why are we gonna prioritize them over us? And that's what we got to get back to, man. And that's even going back to the centering question. You know, how do we get back to us? You know, and that's
Zahir, my mama told me something when I was a little boy, man. I was a little boy. I remember one time it was something like, you know, I had a friend or something. I was doing something for a friend, like I gave him something at the house or something. And my mama told me, she said, that's cool. That's all well and good. But what my mama told me, she said, charity started at home and spread abroad.
Say that again.
You know what I'm saying? She said that charity starts at home and spreads abroad.
That's right.
And us you saying take care of home first.
Yeah, take care of
And
home.
then you can help others.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got unfinished business with the continent. We ain't got, we got to take care of Africa, our home, our motherland first. And African people, we got to prioritize us first. And after we get ourselves together, then we can help each other. Hey, Zahir, I can't help you cure your cancer when I got cancer.
Right.
You know, when I'm sick, how am I gonna help you when I'm sick?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Man, it's been a great good hour, man. You know.
Yeah, this been good.
Man.
This been good.
Yeah, it's been good, man.
Yeah.
We gonna do it again, and we gonna have to. And I promise next time, man. I'm gonna be more polished. I'm learning, man. You know, I'm learning. You know,
Me too.
the way your setup is different how ours is on the podcast. You know, because we have prompts and we talk. But like, I'm learning though, man. I'm new to this part. Like yours is more like it's a little bit more like, you know, I gotta step my game up a little bit better.
No, man, you good. Trust me, man. This is, you know, we freestyle, man, and we come with our topics. You know, it's really good to do it like that too. You know what I mean? Because passionate like we did here, man, and just say things. You know, we gotta just come. Sometimes we just gotta keep it real, you know, and say things. Because part of what I want to do is have something that an alternative opinion that you ain't gonna hear anywhere else. And sometimes that just comes from just not being too ready, you know. So this will wrap up our current topics for this episode, man. We're gonna touch back up. Just keep on the lookout. Thank you for coming again, and we're gonna do this again.
Yeah, man. Hey, it was great. It was great being there, brother.
Hey, and what we say in the Mageuzi, man, when we say Abarigane, we say Abiba Fahudie, that's African liberation for all African people around the world. So,
Abiba Fahudie, Abibi Tumi.
All right. Peace.